You know what I want to talk about? We have to talk about the fact that something that I grew up on, a TV show that I know and love, is being ruined. And that TV show, cartoon, if you will, is Proud Family.
Young Apollo with the
Guys, Proud Family, created by Disney, is essentially basically coming out and trying to turn people into social justice warriors through watching what would have been a very wholesome, beautiful, diverse show, if we really want to go there. I was watching Proud Family when I was a child, with Destiny's Child singing a little theme song, with the black family and the white friends and the blue sisters and all these different characters of diverse backgrounds, diverse opinions, and guess what? Nobody ever had to call it out and say this is a diverse show. Nobody ever had to say anything about the skin tone of the characters. They just made a good product, they put it on TV, and I, a little biracial kid, sat in front of my TV, and guess what? I was represented on the show, and I got to see it. Not that I cared, but it was there. So as much as people complain about diversity in TV, we had it. We been had it. But now they're ruining Proud Family because, of course, you can't leave things untouched. You can't leave things in their original packaging anymore. You have to take them out of their mint condition and inject some woke leftist ideology into them. And Proud Family has done exactly that with their new series, Proud Family Louder and Prouder. And you guys have to watch this for yourselves. I don't think I've heard so many race-conscious leftist buzzwords in such a short time. In a kid's program, even in an adult's program. Let's watch.
This country was built on slavery, which means slaves built this country. Built this land from sea to sea to sea. First there was rice, tobacco, sugar cane. Then Whitney did his thing and cotton became king. And we were its soldiers, 4 million strong, fighting for America's freedoms, even though we remained America's slaves. Built this country. The descendants of slaves continue to build this. Slaves built this country. And we, the descendants of slaves in America, have earned reparations for their suffering. And
You've earned reparations? Please tell me what you've earned. That you've earned reparations. For what? So you want reparations from people who were never slave owners given to people who were never slaves? And this is what Proud Family is teaching you? I used to sit in front of the TV, I should say. Watch Proud Family, learn about bullying, learn about friendship, learn about navigating school life as a young child, learn about just normal things that all young people go through the lens of this family and through the lens of these mainly female characters. And now you get this. I don't identify with we in this case with Proud Family. Ugh.
continue to earn reparations every moment we spend submerged in the systemic prejudice, racism, and white supremacy that America was founded with and still has not atoned for. Slaves.
What? They said America was founded on white supremacy and prejudice and systemic racism, and they still have not atoned for it. So no one in America has atoned for the transgression of slavery. Nobody has apologized. Nobody has recognized the past in America. Nobody has spoken about the transgressions. Are you joking me? Are you kidding right now? What is going on?
Built this country. Not only field hands, but carpenters, masons, blacksmiths, musicians, inventors built cities from Jamestown to New Orleans to Banneker, Washington. 40 acres and a mule. We'll take the 40 acres, keep the mule. We made your families rich. From the southern plantation heirs to the northern bankers to the New England ship owners, the founding fathers, former presidents, current senators,
The Illuminati, the New World Order,
slaves built this country. We had Tubman, Turner,
Frederick D.
Didn't they say Lincoln freed the slaves?
But slaves were men.
And women. And
Oh my gosh. I mean, I really can't. And then they have the little white girl who's not really speaking because clearly she can't say things like we, because she can't identify with the black struggle in America. And then you have a child bringing up the Illuminati and the New World Order to other children who are supposed to be watching this programming. I cannot believe that a group of people presumably sat down, watched what they intended for this new show, and went, yep, it's exactly the message we want to give to little children. It's exactly what we want to say. Never mind that I can't account for the fact that we made Proud Family in the early 2000s. How? If America's so systemically racist and we hate diversity and we don't want to acknowledge slavery, how did you even make the Proud Family in the early 2000s? How was that even allowed in such a white supremacist, racist country? Ugh.
Only we can free ourselves. Emancipation is not freedom. Jim Crow, segregation, redlining, public schools feeding private prisons where we become slaves again. As we celebrate Juneteenth for the umpteenth time, our account is still outstanding. Cause this country was built on slavery, which means slaves built this country. And we demand our 40 acres and a mule. Bump that! You can keep the mule.
Keep the 40.
We're taking our freedom.
And everybody cheers because that was great, except for what the seemingly white judges who just heard something that white people aren't supposed to hear or white people are so uncomfortable with hearing. But the crowd goes wild because everybody agrees with the victimized narrative of Black America. Everybody agrees that Black America is still yet to have been freed. Even though we have a bunch of Black characters in this TV show right now being put on Disney, one of the biggest corporations that has ever existed in the history of the United States of America. Even though I'm right here talking to you on this show right now, a biracial woman, we've achieved nothing. We have yet to atone for our past. We have yet to acknowledge slavery, and we have yet to have paid reparations. Guys, you know when reparations should have been paid? You know what? I am pro-reparation. You know when reparations should have been paid? When the slaves weren't enslaved anymore. That was when reparations should have been paid. Do you now get to knock on the door of the U.S. government nearly 200 years later and say you want reparations now? The grandchild of a grandchild wanting reparations now for what? You were not enslaved. I'm sorry that it didn't get paid when it was supposed to get paid. But you don't get to ask for it now, especially since it is not going to heal any wound that Black Americans are facing right now. And to see this in kids' programming is disgusting. So you're a young kid who's supposed to be turning on Disney to either A, be entertained, B, learn something valuable like a strong, timeless life lesson. And their timeless life lesson is that you are oppressed in this country through a racist past, a racist present, and by every marker that they've discussed here, a racist future. That's the message that when you get a show that gets to show Black America and the Black family, that's what you want to push forward to little kids. You want to teach them of their own victimhood, teach them that they have nothing to get from this country, no opportunities in this country, they never have and they never will. That's what you're proud of, Proud Family? Disgusting. I will not be watching this show unless there's more to react to and call out, as I'm sure there will be. I just cannot believe that some unknowing parent is going to sit their kid in front of the TV, and maybe even some of them thinking that this is going to give them a clear view of representation, and this is what they're going to get. Proud Family used to have diverse Black characters of different backgrounds, different opinions, different attitudes, who all came together under one family to discuss issues that everybody feels, that everybody deals with. And now, you as a little Black child get to sit in front of your TV and watch Proud Family, where every single Black character is going to be a cookie cutter, cutout character that spouts the same woke bullshit that everybody else is saying on TV. There's nothing new here, there's nothing fresh here, and there's nothing to be proud about. Oh my gosh.
Mic drop.
Mic drop, I guess. This gets me so pissed, man. Taylor, you watch Proud Family too.
I did, and that's you're hitting the nail on the head. This what's so backward about this is I was a young kid when this came out and remember watching the original version of this show, and as a 11-year-old white kid in Tulsa, Oklahoma, one of the whitest cities in America, I tuned into this show, didn't have a second thought about it, but just enjoyed watching it because I could relate to it. I realized that the characters were Black and maybe more female. That was like something you notice and realize, but I didn't think anything of it because, like you said, they focused on themes that were universal and could be relating to, and it actually made people from a different background seem less different, less alien, less strange or whatever. And I didn't, again, that wasn't like a conscious thought in my head. It was just like, oh, cool, this is a show. It's for me because it's about things that I can actually relate to, and that has the effect of narrowing the differences between us and not focusing on them and not driving. And what the new version of this show does the complete opposite. This show, the reboot of this show, is a perfect case study in how woke attempts to solve racism versus how our traditional liberal Christian or liberal democracy, Martin Luther King style, just de-emphasizing race, moving towards a place where, yes, we can see each other's race and see the differences between us, but that we have what we share as humans, what we share as children of God, what we share as Americans is more important and is so much higher than all these differences that we're not going to focus on the wedges between us, but focuses on what we share in common and what we can experience together. And that's not to say of course, we always have to say, like, you don't shove history under a rug, you confront that and you've learned about it. But this is doing nothing but putting the limelight on every grievances, and you're teaching the Black kids that you're oppressed and you need to think of the tone that the kids had when they were demonstrating and giving their performance. Everyone seemed angry and agitated, and that's because I guarantee you the people who wrote that's how they feel. They feel angry at the white supremacist system, and it's all about pushing you toward activism, and it's not promoting healing, it's not promoting unity, it's not promoting real progress. It's undoing genuine progress that we've made and bringing us back to a place of division that's getting us nowhere. And I'm reminded of the appearance on Dr. Phil and just how the CRT professor that was on there debating you on Dr. Phil just kind of had an answer for everything of why white supremacy is at the root of the cultural appropriation and why everything's problematic and why we have to focus on our grievances. And everyone in the room was just like, you can make all these arguments, you can say stuff, you can play the victim, you can, create this binary of oppressor and oppressed and play off of it and beat it till the cows come home. But like, you're not bringing us anywhere, and you can just feel that you're not bringing us toward progress, you're not bringing us toward healing, you're not promoting healthy relationships between the races and helping us thrive as a country or as a society. And it grieves me to see that we're moving backwards, that 20 years ago we were further ahead than where we are today with this stuff.
Yeah, it's just full of excuses too. Like a little Black kid, you're gonna see this and all this talk of reparations, and you're owed something just by being born. So you're gonna think, oh, not only a strong sense of entitlement for being owed something just by being born in this country, but also you'll have a crutch underneath both your arms for the rest of your life, because if anything goes wrong, it's this country's fault. It's not your fault. There's no personal accountability to be found in this message. There's no responsibility to be found in this message. And that's what Proud Family used to be all about. And, this show is very reminiscent of what they've done with Velma, taking all the Scooby-Doo characters, making them just nauseatingly woke, and then repackaging and putting it out as if it's what we're used to and as if it's what we saw as a child. They're hijacking all of these shows that used to be so near and dear to our hearts. So I will be watching the old episodes of shows.